Well, what's he saying?
What was that?
Ooh, bacon.
Greetings, tasty morsels. It's Reverse BLT here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are watching Andor episode 9. This one is called Nobody's Listening. I assume that's a reference to the fact that Leia, who I do think is thinking more clearly than Luthen right now, convinced him that they needed to shut down the radio post or whatever that is on Ferrix. And we go back to Ferrix and see exactly what she's worried about, because Bix's transmission, as one would expect, was tracked. So she's about to get her butt interrogated, probably tortured. I don't think they're going to get anything really that they will be able to use, but they're still going to torture her.
Yeah.
Marva is trying to do rebellion activities. She's trying to do some sabotage and some, terrorism and all that good stuff. I don't think she's having much success at the moment because she's all by herself for the most part, and she's very old. So she's having difficulty. However, the stuff that the garrison is doing on Ferrix is probably going to help increase the ranks of the rebels pretty quickly. So I think Marva's going to be able to pull something off. I'm not 100% sure anymore that she is going to live long enough to see Cassian again, but I do think that she will die regardless, and I think that her death will be a major catalyst for him to become a rebel for real. That heist, it continues to have ripples throughout the Empire, has made them crack down way too hard, which of course was Luthen's goal, and it is increasing rebellious sentiment. However, Luthen has hit a snag, because the whole reason he went to see Saw Gerrera was to try to get him to lend air support to another rebel. I think a direct attack on an Imperial base is what I think was going on there, which obviously would further incentivize the Empire to crack down hard, which would increase rebellious sentiment even more, because that's what Luthen's goal is. He wants to move this towards an active, open rebellion. I wonder how much of that is because it really is time, and how much of that is just because, as we've kind of gotten out of him several times already, he's just tired of hiding. I think he just really wants to do something. And he laid out his reasoning to Saw in the previous episode, where he said that he's worried that the Empire will keep getting stronger and stronger to the point where no amount of resistance will ever be able to do anything. And he has a point, especially if people are allowed to go for a long time under the Empire feeling safe and comfortable. A rebellion couldn't succeed at that point, because they'll try to rabble-rouse and everybody be like, well, but why? Why would we even want to topple this? This is great. We're all doing much better under this, or at the very least, we're all doing at least as well as we were under the Republic. I'm interested to see whether Cassian will break out of prison in this episode, and if so, where will he go? I also don't know what's going to happen when they do finally catch up with Cassian. I have a feeling that Vel is going to hesitate in killing him, but Cinta obviously won't, and I think that might be another thing that will drive a wedge between them. I'm curious to see what kind of stuff Karn is going to do to try to continue his little hunt for his white whale. He was told in no uncertain terms by Miro that he needs to basically back off, but I don't think he has it in him to do that. So their paths are going to probably cross again. I still feel that Karn will end up in actual physical prison by the end of this story. Everybody's actually very compelling in this show, I have to admit, and that's a rare feat. It's really difficult to have a cast of characters, all of whom are compelling. Heck, even Andy Serkis's prison supervisor is compelling. Granted, that may be more down to the fact that it's Andy Serkis. Before I ramble too much more, you guys know how I am. I'm just going to go ahead and start this episode to find out what the full extent of the title means when nobody's listening. Got a little dance party going on with the theme this time.
I'll tell you everything I know to be true, and in doing so, perhaps convince you to cooperate without intervention. Failing that, we have Dr. Gorst.
Yeah, he said, hi.
The very worst thing you can do right now is bore me.
You're not gonna believe me anyway, are you?
Yeah, trust but verify.
She's all yours, Dr. Gorst.
Thank you.
That felt like a genuine thank you. That man is really eager to get to work. It's terrifying.
You are the next man out. You are the shortest of the short. This was your idea.
Me? No, it's Tiger. You kidding?
Turn. Wise move.
Cassian has clearly read How to Win Friends and Influence People.
There's nothing intrinsically physical about this process, but we've had some early trials that were a bit chaotic.
My God, he is so excited. Dr. fucking Mangala over here.
They make a sound as they die, a sort of choral, agonized pleading. We've taken the recordings and modified them slightly. And we've found a section of what we believe are primarily children, which has its own particular effect.
God damn, the Empire is fucked up.
It's repeat listenings that cause the most damage.
Are they gonna make us listen to it too? I don't want to listen to alien children crying and pleading for their lives. Very effective and also a very good transition. So this is what you've been up to, eh?
On program. New man on the floor. Everyone hold positions.
Dude, that is not in there well.
And Salmon Park?
I don't care.
I'd like to hang him. What's left of him, anyway. Make sure they know who's in charge.
As you wish.
Stupid. All you're doing is creating a match point, or flash point.
Nice, Sam!
Something broken? What's he saying?
Level 2. He's coming this way around now.
Well, what's he saying?
What was that?
Someone didn't load in. They are counting.
So they cut the power?
What do you think's happening?
I mean, they could probably just kill you all at any point they want.
Everybody calm down!
Something's really wrong on 2.
You haven't got a clue what they are saying. Level 2, far side. Level 2, are you all scrambled or something? It takes a week for one word to get all the way up here, and you're panicking about something that's happening on the other side of the building.
Wonder what that was all about.
Aunt Belle's been to Tassia Moon. Look what she brought me.
Your father may have an opinion. We'll see if he lets you wear it.
He lets me do anything I want.
Oh, wait. So this is the rich family she's running away from. So she's Vel Mothma.
No. It's got a spinning out of it. You took a vow. It fits.
It looks very cute on you.
There's something you need to know.
What is that stuff? I like to think that it's maybe tastes and feels like lasagna.
How many guards on each level?
You want out of here alive, turn that part of your mind off.
You think they care what we say?
You're
They
all
should.
right with this.
They should be listening to you.
You think they're listening?
They should be. So what was happening on 2?
What happened to you on 2-5?
We weren't told anything.
You're kidding.
They don't know about it.
They were fried out.
They're all gone.
It's a rumor. Maybe it's true. Maybe it's not. We have heard nothing.
You've been searching my room again.
It's called cleaning. I like a tidy house.
You've been in my private box.
She's such a busybody.
Imagine I'd cracked under the weight of your neglect. Imagine I'd cracked and wasn't here now to pick up the pieces.
I've been promoted.
This is what having a parent whose only interest in you is your accomplishments gets you. This poor old timer is barely holding on.
Come on, boys, let's go! 1, 2.
He's just so desperate to prove that he can still contribute.
Hands away. Yeah.
Hands away.
Turn.
He's gonna get hurt. He's gonna get hurt bad. How you doing, Bix?
The fuck you think?
You just can't let it go, can you, buddy?
Just being in your presence, I've realized that life.
You have a crush?
I realized that if nothing else, there was justice and beauty in the galaxy, and if
Oh my God, talking like a freaking neckbeard.
the future was a dream worth clinging to.
I could have you arrested.
I wasn't expecting this angle.
What would you want? I sense it. I know it.
You're out of your mind. I have already given you a second chance. You come near me again, you pursue any of this, and I swear I'll have you in a cage on the Outer Rim.
I really wasn't expecting a little romantic subplot to develop here. These two are kind of low-key soulmates, huh?
Gross.
One of ours?
Corv is checking, but...
Where are they holding him?
A destroyer off Steerguard.
Get Dr. Gorst. Send him out there immediately.
I already did. He's on his way. Do you want to go?
Yes. No, there's no time. I'll interrogate remotely. Good work.
Are you getting worried because he's doing too good of a job? Because you keep looking at him funny every time he shows initiative.
He's a thug.
The wealthiest thug of them all.
Don't tell me you've spoken to him already.
I wanted to bring you a solution. He wants to meet you. He wants to meet here.
Give him a bit of legitimacy. Imagine how far he can take an image of him with the senator. Are people paying attention to him? He's so close to done with his sentence, I really don't want him to get all jacked up or to die now.
Tell him we need a med tech up here.
You've only got a few shifts left. Then you're going home.
On program.
Yeah, even the med techs are prisoners.
His name's Ulaf.
I've seen him before. Hold that.
He's only got 40 shifts left. Just want to get him up and about. He's tough as an old rock.
You sure that's the treatment that he's going to be given?
He's had a massive stroke. What are you doing? I can't help him. I can't help anyone. He's lucky. He'll pass peacefully, which is more than I can say for the rest of us. Another week like this, and you'll be begging for what he's getting.
What do you mean?
You want to keep your men in line. You'll feel nothing.
I don't know, he looks like he's feeling something to me.
What do you mean? Keep my men in line. They made a mistake. A man who was just released on 4 ended up back on 2 the next day. Word got out on the floor and then they killed them all.
Wow.
No one's getting out, are they?
Not now.
How many guards on each level?
Never more than 12.
Trying to get the whole freaking place broken out. Wow. You know, the greatest thing about this series so far is that it's taken the Empire, which was just this nebulous threat, right? Just looming over everything, and truly made it real just how messed up it is. Because that revelation is right up there with some of the better ones that you get from dystopian sci-fi stories, where they create an illusion that you're working towards something to keep you going, and then just cycle it around so that it's in truth a never-ending nightmare. Wow, what a fucked up thing. This was a whole episode of like just wow. We had the poor guy literally worked to death serving his sentence, and guarantee it wasn't for anything that would have warranted life in prison. Guarantee it, because we see how the Empire runs, and the only thing that can be done for him is, you know, kill him gently. Definitely the theme of imprisonment is strong in this arc here. I honestly thought Cassian would break out by the end of this, but it looks like we're going to extend that into the last arc, which honestly I'm kind of glad about, because this place has been built up to a point now where had he escaped in just 3 episodes, well really 2, it probably would have undermined some of the effect they were going for. It would have been too easy. It continues to be interesting to see Mon Mothma and now Vel. I'm gonna say Vel Mothma. I don't know if her name is Mothma or not.
It's not.
And how that family essentially is pulled into this rebellion.
Get this young man some coffee.
And how they have to carefully maintain this image to prevent people from suspecting them too deeply. I still don't trust Mon Mothma's friend. Was it Tay? I still don't trust him. And now he's bringing in some scoundrel type character, or as Mon Mothma called him, a thug. I'm wondering whether it'll be a subversion there where he ends up actually being more trustworthy than Tay, and he actually maybe is already in with the rebellion and is a true believer, or is he going to try to sell her out to the Empire? And unexpected, weird, creepy, perhaps romantic connections starting to form between Syril and Mira. I think in a weird, twisted way, they're kind of soulmates. They're both like these incredibly determined dogs with bones who are like all about order and justice as they see it, and annoyed by complacency and incompetence around them and trying to protect the Empire. It's definitely creepy, as it should be. They're not trying to make it into something that's like feels like beautiful, you know. They're definitely admitting that this is a creepy thing that's happening, but it's also believable in a weird sort of way. Like even her response, like, this is inappropriate, but you can see that she's also kind of a little bit intrigued by the idea too, because I think, again, they both sense sort of kindred spirits in each other. It's obviously going to be something she's going to resist more than he's going to resist. Obsession is interesting to watch. It is interesting seeing this cat and mouse game as the Empire finally sort of starts catching up to the fact that a rebellion is forming, slowly closing in on the various factions, closing in on Luthen. It's weird to me that they still haven't managed to find Cassian. It's just some of the weird ways in which the Empire and the Star Wars galaxy are kind of behind us in certain ways are just funny to me. The fact that they can't just do a biometrics search and figure out that Cassian is currently in custody in one of their prison colonies or whatever is mind-boggling to me. Like, that's the kind of, I'm pretty sure, at least in the US, we could basically do that now. Like a prisoner changing his name or something would not stop us from being able to identify where he is in our prison system. It's weird to me that this, you know, super advanced sci-fi civilization can't do something like that. I'm guessing next episode will begin either 1 or 2 episode mini arc about escaping from that prison. A lot of people are probably going to die in the process on both sides. I assume that the Empire will view it as yet another rebel attack and will crack down even harder. That would probably free us up basically to have the final episode be all about Cassian confronting Luthen one more time, Cassian's mother giving up her life in some way for the cause, and just cementing Cassian's mindset as wanting to be a rebel. And I'm also not sure if Vel is going to make it all the way through the season without being found out. Whether she survives or not is another story, but I just get the feeling that a lot of people are about to be found out. What happens next, who knows? Now, let me know what you guys thought of this episode, what you thought of this arc, and what you thought of the season so far. If you want to talk about stuff that's happened past here, as always, use your spoiler warnings and spaces. Thanks for watching with me, guys. As always, do your best to stay safe and be well, and I will see you for the next one. May the Force be with you. Bye-bye.
I want you to be totally honest with me on how the machine makes you feel. This being our first try, I'll use the lowest setting. And remember, this is for posterity, so be honest.